All right, we are up and live. Are you happy now? Cindy's excited because we're live. Oh, now that we're live, you're going to go lay down. Thanks, Doug. Well, we're headed into Puyallup to run an errand. It's a very cold Thursday in Washington. Hey, Tiger. I'm. Hey, Bird. Welcome in, buddy. We are about 3 miles out from home, and I got signal, and the dogs wanted to go live, so we're live. Truck's not even warm. So we're freezing to death. Hey, Beverly, thanks for coming in, honey. How you doing? Dory's napping now on the passenger seat. Cindy's sitting on the center console watching where we're going. So we've got about an hour and a half round trip, so we'll be live for a while. Yeah, isn't that awesome, Tiger? Munchie Mafia is exploding right now. Yeah, we definitely are getting the subs. Now we just got to get our watch hours up and we'll be there. At least now I've got stuff I can play with, so maybe we can uh, get some sponsorship deals on the Jim Baldor seasonings. That would be cool. If we could get some of those to give away. Yeah, exactly. Another fine loud and corn hog production. I've started playing with EV Mux on my phone, but I haven't set it up so I can run my lives off of it on my phone yet. I'm told it can be done, but I haven't figured out how to do it yet. So I'm still running off of YouTube, which is okay. It works. But I think it would let me go horizontal, and then the only problem would be can I or can I not read the chat while I'm doing it? If I can go horizontal, then I'd be able to get a better picture out of it. But we'll see. I'll play with it some more, and maybe next Tuesday we'll be able to do it. about that. I never make this slide. All right, out on the 410 and away we go. We'll probably run into traffic ahead of us before we ever get a speeding ticket out here. The only place they ever set up speed traps is up here at the weigh station. And usually you can see it so far ahead of time, it isn't really a speed trap. Hey, Gary, thanks for dropping in, buddy. Yeah, thanks, Cindy. She's now laying down without the center console half on my lap. Now the heat's working. We've been out long enough. She'll climb into her normal spot once the truck's warmed up. At the moment, she's sitting here snuggling to stay warm. Silly dog. But yeah, Munchie Mafia is just exploding, and it's really fun to watch it grow now. We were hoping to make 2,000 by the weekend, but I think we're going to hit it before that. Yeah, but we still have enough greenery to stay green. Yeah, 140. I think we can make it by the weekend. I'm sure before Sunday we'll be there. I mean, we're averaging about 100 a day. It's yeah, stop signs are optional. Yeah, yeah, it's amazing to see how many people in Washington treat stop signs with yellow signs. Really, the only time you see a stop sign actually be a stop sign is if there's a police officer at the other side of the intersection. And then the police officer treats it as a yellow. Yes, it does work very well, Jerry. I can't, I don't understand. I guess I don't get why it's not a common more common than it is. Exactly, Tiger. The closer you get to King County, which is the epicenter of Washington, unfortunately, that's where Seattle is. The more so you get that. When you're in Eastern Washington, they're real stop signs, and everybody stops at them. Well, guess she warmed up. She finally crawled off of me. Yeah, it's the old adage: you got to make money, to spend money to make money. But exactly, and it's not like it's hundreds of dollars to do it. And considering the investment I've already put into the channel, this is nothing. Yeah, this it really is. Yeah, that's just DoorDash. But it's fun. She has a good time with it, and that's what counts. The epicenter of Bunny Lake, Walmart. All right, I'll keep an eye out for it, Jerry. Well, technically, that's what it's supposed to be like here too, Burn, but it doesn't always work that way. Here, it's more of the most aggressive driver wins. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Tiger. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for coming in, honey. Yeah, that too, Bern. Well, I like driving my big old beat up truck. People with the BMWs give me a white bird. Like the segment of what was it, Steel Magnolias. So I'm older and I have good insurance. Get out of my way. Hey, Simon, thanks for coming in, bud. Yep. I mean, it's already been totaled. What? When I got rear-ended by the semi back in 2023, it it tweaked the bed just a little tiny bit, and technically that put it over the top for totaling. But there was nothing else wrong with it. If I replace it, the only problem is the tailgate won't go all the way down now, so I have to take it off to put it down. Um, and if I'd replaced the back bumper, the tailgate would work fine. So I paid $900 out of the settlement and kept the truck. Hey Lee, thanks for coming in, buddy. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. This is more a typical day in Seattle. Not really raining, not raining at all, just gray. And that's the part that messes with people when they move to Washington. The gray day down there too, Simon. Ugh. Well, Cindy's back in my lap again. Now she moved. Yeah, it's not quite 71 here. It's well, out in front of the house, the sidewalk is still frosted over. Some of these sticker questions that pop up. Favorite day of the week? At least with cloud cover, it doesn't get as cold at night. But last night we were clear all night. We were down into the low T. Yeah, I know that there was a huge snowstorm coming through. It was all rain out here last week, but that all had to go somewhere. And I'm getting pop-ups on my phone about huge accidents in the Midwest and out in the Northeast. Without power for weeks. Yeah, that would be bad. The 3 days we had to go without power back around Thanksgiving was bad enough. Two to 4 feet in 48 hours. Holy crap. Well, 1 inch of rain is a foot of snow. I think the worst snow we've ever had here that I can remember in the 67 years, minus a year or two here and there. Uh, we had, I think we had 23 inches when I was 12, and since then the most was I think 18 inches, and that was maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. Oh, poor baby, freezing at 79 degrees. Jesus, 79 degrees is pushing too warm. Yeah, 41 is about what it is here at the moment. Low 40s, I suspect. And I know there's a thermometer sitting on my dashboard. You guys can see it, but it's not. It's reading inside temperature. That's the other thing. We don't get snow drifts out here. We get very heavy, wet snow. Um, my ex-wife grew up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and her sister lived out here, and I knew her sister, and that's how I met her. But her first winter out here, we had snow, and it was only a few inches, and she swore up and down and gave me crap that she didn't have a problem driving in snow. And I kept telling her this wasn't like the snow in Wisconsin that drifts and piles up. This snow gets is heavy and wet and sticks on the road and it's slippery. And she headed out the door, and I got a call about 6 minutes later, and she was in the ditch. Hey, DeBooth, 6 weeks of school, Jesus. Yeah, it's man. Yeah, normally you've got to make up any snow days. Hey, Shawnee. Yeah, I think the worst week of snow days they missed 10 days, and the kids almost went on strike because they had to stay in school into July. Normally, school gets out at the middle to the third week of June. Too cold to be riding a bike today, unless he's got a plug-in jumpsuit, which he may on one of those bikes. Yeah, yeah, same storm exactly. I know we're not moving very fast. Cindy jumped back up on the console and was looking at me like, "What the heck is going on here?" No, we're not anywhere. I just put the window down a little bit. It's okay. Relax. You're not coming over. Stay over there. Yeah, my cousin lives up in Clay Ellum, which is up in the pass, up in Snoqualmie Pass, and the buffalo ranch that I've talked about that one of my ex ex's dad owned was up in that area, and everything was done by snowmobile up there. The cops did the. I mean, that's there was it was there was also a drinking party every night at her start at the bottom of the hill. You could see the trail of snowmobiles working their way up the hill, going from the first person's house at the bottom of the hill, B snowmobiles going to the third house, and then three snowmobiles going to the fourth house, and so on and so on. It would end up the last mile and a half coming uphill. There were 10 snowmobiles coming up the hill, and they were all cars and drink up at the top of the hill. Hi, Mama. Oh, thanks for coming in. Yeah, yeah, it really was. I mean, nobody ended up at our house until about I don't know 9 o'clock at night. It started at about 5:30 down at the bottom of the hill, and they'd go from the first house to the second house and have drinks, then move up to the third house and have more drinks. And by the time they got to us, they were all hammered and having a good time, and had lots of antifreeze on board. Funny part was watching them all go back down the hill after doing the trip up and then sitting and playing cards and drinking more for several hours. It's been on a couple of those, yeah. I've seen pictures of stuff like that, Tiger. When I was a kid growing up, our house sat directly across the street from a uphill cul-de-sac, and the first house on the left going up the cul-de-sac had a big, huge driveway. And when that huge snowstorm came when I was 12, uh, the older brothers of the gal across the street that was friends with us built this huge ramp that started up in the top of their driveway, came down with a huge steep bank turn all the way down the cul-de-sac hill, and shot you back uphill on the road that went uphill past our house. And you would take that run, and it would launch you 15 or 20 houses up the street. Just insane. Nobody could go anywhere. Nobody could drive in it. So the ramp stayed there for probably a week, and we all had a blast on it with energy. But the top edge of the ramp was probably 6 feet in the air, and it was a serious steep bank turn. Jesus, all that traffic because of this exit. Never saw it again till spring. I'm really hoping we get snow this year so I can show you guys pictures and video of what our house does to the snow. Because the front porch, our house has a very tall peak, and the front porch faces north. So when the snow comes down, that peak out in the street stays there for a long time until the temperatures really go up. No, I didn't show it to her. We I got sidetracked last night. I will show it to her though. Jerry sent me a picture of his leg where they went in, and it, for lack of a better term, I've been through very similar procedures a few times to what Jerry went through, and it just looks like they tried to cut your leg off. There's no better way to put it. It looks so bad, but I will show it to her, Jerry. She didn't get home till really late last night. Normally Monday and Tuesday are her late nights. Uh, but yeah, no, I'll show it to her tonight for sure. Yep, that's good news that it's all back down where it should be. Yeah, no, she hasn't seen it yet, but she will. It's even dumber than that because I did mention that I talked to you. That you and I had texted yesterday. Yeah, luckily we're not in a hurry. What the heck? Why is everybody move? Oh no. Oh yeah, there is a dead truck up there. That's why. That's why everybody's moving over. That's the problem. And I'm going to move over and center this lane here in a minute if these idiots don't stop this because I'm not letting any more people in ahead of me. Yeah, if you don't know, yeah, the first time I saw mine, I thought I was going to die from it. So they just look terrible. Not to mention if it infiltrates at all. But I have to admit, I had a better time because I had nurses laying across me for an hour and a half. You got stuck with sandbags, and that's just not fair. Go ahead, dummy, run up right behind that truck, idiot. That was funny. Yeah. I want to see him go through it and end up with that mark and see how well he walks. Just being lazy. He actually pulled up far enough behind that truck, so he's going to have to back up to go around it. God, just be amazing. Yeah. Excuse me. All right, now we're moving. Reminds me of some of you may remember the comedian Gallagher, who was hysterical anyway. He had the amazing sledge-o-matic where he scattered watermelons and all sorts of crap over the audience at the end of every show, which may allow you to bring it back in your mind. Yeah, KFC does sound good. Um, but he used to do phrases you never hear. And the one I always remember from him, or the two that I always remember from him, were "Hand me that piano" and "Please saw my legs off." And that's what comes to mind every time I had one of those procedures. Definitely two phrases you never hear: "Hand me that piano" and "Please saw my legs off." Yeah, Gallagher was a riot. He used to do, it was on Showtime then. I don't even know if Showtime still exists, but he did his Showtime specials, and oh my God, they were so funny. Yeah, exactly. Everybody in the first four rows would show up with plastic or trash bags or some kind of watermelon protection, or the amazing sledge-o-matic. Can even make julienne fries, but I swear you gotta hit that thing just right. Yeah, he was hysterical. Yes, yeah, yeah. He had a whole bunch of great bits. Yes, good food or good food. And the special he did with the giant couch on stage just after he'd had his first kid. Have a great day, Lee. Thanks for stopping in, bud. Um, and he walks out from behind a couch carrying with a piece of rope in his hand. And he's first talking about having this first child. He says you're no longer free to do anything you want to do. Friends say, "You want to go out Friday night? We're going to go out for drinks and a movie." And he says, "Nope." And he yanks the rope and an anchor with a diaper on it pulls out. He says, "We have a child," which of course killed me because that's about the time Lizzie was about 2. And the big couch was basically all the things you find in your couch cushion. And he pulls out a giant potato chip and all kinds of goofy stuff. Hey, Al, thanks for coming in, bud. I'm not doing anything important today. I'm just screwing around. The dogs wanted to go live. Somebody's upset. Well, God willing, the drive-thru will be open. Last 2 times I've been here, it hasn't been. Ah, crap. It's not. It's not worth paying the extra $40 to go down to Two Bears. So I got to put up with this. Yeah, that was a good live last night. Is it open? Oh, it is open. Awesome. Drive-thru's open. You may get cookies. We'll see. Okay, around the corner. So, well, we got to get there first. Yeah, Al was talking last night. Was talking about uh, sponsors, sponsorships and stuff. Yeah, last week we couldn't use the drive-through. We had to go in. Hang on, guys. Relax. Let me get around here. Just a minute. All right, guys. I'm gonna mute it for just a second. upset puppies. They're out of cookies. Cindy was just yelling at him. I'm sorry, there's no cookies today. He's out. Okay, off we go. Yeah, they were out of civvies, and so I had to go down to Two Bears, and they were $40 more. That's why we come here. Sorry, dude, you weren't on the ball, or I gave you room to come out, but you dropped it. All right. Yeah, Two Bears is closer and always has them. And actually, these guys have been out a couple of times in the years I've been coming here. But the outfit that I used to work for uh, is about 8 miles northwest of where we are now. So I'd either hit this one or there's one over in Lakewood of the same outfit that owns this one. So they were cheaper than Two Bears. That's not a bad idea, Tiger. Sibby was talking about stopping for dinner on the way home. We had hot dogs last night with brioche and pretzel buns. I found some new hot dog buns that I wanted to try, and they were actually really pretty good. I can't remember the actual brand name of them, but they were really good. Hot dogs and bugles with cheese whiz. You have to have cheese whiz with bugles. You can only eat so many of them sticking them on your fingers. Then you got to have something to put inside the bugle. Yeah. Well, that's the difference between when Tibby makes dinner and when I make dinner. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I get soup dip. Yeah, 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 yeah. That would be really good. And I don't know if they stopped making it, but they used to have cheese with I think it was American cheese and bacon or cheddar and bacon, and I couldn't find that one. They just had American cheese or cheddar cheese. Hi, babe. Remind me tonight. I meant to show you last night, but I forgot. Gary sent me a picture of his wound, and it looks a lot like mine. That might be. I've never tried that, Tiger. See you later, Burn. Thanks for stopping in, bud. Wow, they are really pouted. They didn't get cookies. One twelve is closed. I wonder why 112 is closed. That's weird. All right, now we're headed back home. That was fun. At least the drive-through was open. That's the good news. Oh, where did that come from? Oh, there it is. I know. You can't even see it. You just heard it. All right, am I still here? I think I'm going to reset it just on account. All right, am I back? Okay. Sorry about that. Apprentice had a problem again. Although if he just think about shit, he wouldn't have problems. Thermostat set for 50. It's not coming on. Should I lower it? No, it's a thermostat. It's supposed to come on if it's below 50 or 41 degrees outside today. If it's not on, troubleshoot it. Duh. Seems pretty basic to me. However, apparently it's not pretty basic to him. That's why I get paid the big bucks. Really? Why do you got to get over here? Oh, you're not going to turn Arizona. That's an Arizona license plate. figure it out eventually. Try and hurry along and get home before he calls me again. What's the matter, Dory? You look unhappy. I know you didn't get a cookie. I'm sorry. I'll get you a cookie when we get home. Okay? Normally, Dory just puts to sleep on the passenger seat, sitting there looking at me with sad eyes, with puppy dog eyes of all kinds. I really don't know why. She's not a big cookie dog. She likes the one kind of cookie she gets at home. Otherwise, there's actually still a cookie sitting on her seat underneath where she was sleeping, but it's not one she wants to eat. Wow, 15 mics. That may be a record. Cool. The Puyallup are watching the state fairgrounds dead ahead of us, that big tower in the middle of their big, scary high rise. At least we came out earlier today so I don't get stuck in traffic on the way back. You get the tractor back yet, Jerry? Ah, bummer. Yeah, from what you said Monday night, they have a lot left to do on it. Of course, I know how cops are. They get them done and put them back out of the lot, and they talk to you and figure out they're going to do a little bit more. It may be a week before they get it back into the job. We have that problem with some of our vans. Even, of course, that's all warranty work that they're going to use office. Wonder if they're setting up to bring the carpool bay down the rest of the way. Kind of looks like it. Yeah, it does. It kind of looks like they're going to do that. I wish they'd bring the other side down the rest of the way. Kind of odd. We've been out on this whole trip and haven't seen any Subaru. Really, dude. I can't even see this guy's headlights behind me. Figures. The kid in a Mercedes. Was Eddie in here? I missed him. Sorry, Eddie, if you're still here, dude. Must have showed up just as I got that phone call. Oh, how about that? They upped the speed limit out here. Not that I'm going under it, but it used to be 50. Now it's 55. All right, up the hill, past the pretend invisible water tower. We almost can't even see it. Not even silly that they did it. It's silly that they keep repainting it that way. You know, you see all the water towers across the Midwest. They're all, 90 feet in the air with a big ball on top with the city name on it. Make it obvious that that's the water tower for the city. Not in Washington. Washington, they paint it so it's a good idea. Oh, look at that. Even with the cloud cover, we got a decent view of the mountain. That's pretty cool. Obviously, that means we've got a ceiling above 14,000 feet. That's so beautiful. Sorry, I'm obsessed. I know. wow. It used to be a bank. Now it's an ENT and plastic surgery place. I wonder what they did with the vault. I suppose it could be a big narcotic vault. Little odd to have something that secure for narcotics, but what else would you use it for in a doctor's office? Strange. The oddities abound. That's a weird license plate. I don't recognize that. That's Oregon. That's really weird for Oregon. Oregons look a lot like Washington. It says Oregon across the top of it, but maybe it's just one of those group personal plates. I assume every state has those. Washington does. You can get wildlife ones that the fees go to. There are some that are for police or firefighters, EMTs, or University of Washington or WSU, and they got a bunch of them in Washington State. And they're definitely a little different, not a lot, but a little different. But that was definitely an odd Oregon place. I don't know that you could. Yeah, you probably could see it if it was, but I don't know if you could have seen it well enough to see it. You know. Here, let me make absolutely no sense out of what I was saying. So, what are they building over there? Always building something new around here. I probably should have hit the pharmacy while I was out. I guess we'll have to go out to the pharmacy tomorrow. I don't know if the dogs will make me go out tomorrow, but we'll see. They're so picky. There is a new spinning video out, by the way. Cindy's still at it. She had stopped doing it for quite a while, and all of a sudden she's at it again. I don't know what changed about her tail all of a sudden, but she's at it again. Four ten auto sales on the right. That was the restaurant for a long time. Back around the dumbest ring road in existence. Hi, Joey. Joey popped up on the center console. Whoa, really, dude? I don't know why he was in such a big hurry. He only made it about 4 cars ahead of me. We're almost home, Joey. They get so excited to go, and then about the time we're almost home, they're tired of it. Want to be home. Usually there's snow up on those foothills. It's been an odd kind of a year, though. Hey, Tex the Donkey. Thanks for dropping in, bud. We're just out digging around, running an errand, and now we're on the way back home. We actually are out in Washington State, so we have been hit. We had the rain you guys were about to get last week, or over the weekend, and the cold weather is still here. So, but we didn't get hammered with the snow that you guys were about to get. According to the 10-day forecast, we're supposed to get snow, but it hasn't showed up. But it's not good like what you guys have coming. Yeah, if you got a generator, that'll help. As long as you got a gas furnace or oil burner furnace. If you got a heat pump, it doesn't help. You're still stuck with no heat. But at least you got everything else if you got a generator. Yeah, that's the killer that we have. We don't. So if we're without power, we got no heat. But I'm getting ready to replace the heating system. Uh, Although it still won't. It will still be a heat pump. But I'm gonna, being a heating contractor, I can get some hybrid equipment that I will be able to run off of the generator. So the natural gas pretty much stops about here in this area. Oh, there's a nice little Buckley police officer. Obviously, he's been out running around Wilkinson and Carbonado. They come through town about 3 or 4 times a day. All right, am I still here? Or do I need to reset it? I'll reset it. All right, I'm back. Um, it's so easy to reset. I've gotten in the habit of automatically resetting them. Dylan called back. However, I'm almost out of signal, so I'm going to have to end this pretty quick. I told him I'd call him back in a minute when I got home. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. It's been fun. Yep, I got to go over and say. Anyway, I may go live tomorrow when I go out to the pharmacy. We'll see. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Stay safe, and we will see you on the next one. Love y'all. Bye.